It's amazing how those initial snapshots can color our perception.
Oh, definitely.
Back in 2011, when Xiaomi burst onto the scene with their first phone, the Xiaomi 1, the Japanese media really latched onto their founder, Lei Jun.
Right, I remember that.
Picture the scene. Black t-shirt, jeans, a presentation style kind of straight out of the Steve Jobs playbook.
Yeah, very deliberate.
The headlines practically wrote themselves, something about a Steve Jobs impersonator selling iPhone knockoffs.
That initial reaction really speaks to the power of first impressions, doesn't it? And perhaps it mirrors some of the broader assumptions you might have encountered about innovation coming from China back then.
Exactly. Maybe you've associated Chinese tech primarily with, affordability, maybe even thinking it meant a compromise on quality.
Sure, that was a common view.
But this deep dive is designed to really dig beneath the surface of those assumptions. We're going to explore the story of Xiaomi, the vision of its founder, Lei Jun, and the profound changes they've driven in Chinese manufacturing. We've got some fascinating material from an article focused on understanding China's IT sector, and our mission is really to extract the core elements of Xiaomi's success, revealing the surprising depth and, frankly, genuine innovation behind this company.
So let's start right there, challenging that initial knockoff image. It's crucial to understand just how significantly Xiaomi has reshaped the landscape.
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't just stay in the smartphone lane, they strategically expanded into white goods, think rice cookers, televisions,
Right.
and remarkably achieved genuine hit product status in those categories too.
Which is quite a feat when you consider it.
Yeah.
And the article also highlights their early and strategic entry into India, establishing local production.
That's smart, very forward thinking.
That foresight has been a significant advantage, offering a degree of insulation from some of the recent global anti-China sentiment and positioning them almost as a quasi-domestic brand in a major market like India.
That early international move is certainly a key part of their story. But if we look at their fundamental approach, what truly distinguishes Xiaomi, I think, is this deeply ingrained consumer-centric philosophy.
Okay, tell me more about that.
This isn't just, a marketing slogan. It's a principle that's woven right into their product development process itself.
Right, and this is where Lei Jun's keen study of Japanese manufacturing comes into play, isn't it?
Exactly.
He apparently has a deep admiration for Japan's Muji, that brand renowned for its minimalist, functional design.
He's even publicly stated his ambition for Xiaomi to become the Muji of the digital world.
Huh. That's fascinating. Makes you wonder how that philosophy actually translates into their products on the shelf.
Well, it's interesting to see that connection play out. The article points out Xiaomi's increasing recognition even in a tough market like Japan, where they've now established Xiaomi Japan.
Okay.
And they offer some pretty compelling product examples that illustrate this whole approach.
Like the Mi Smart Band 5.
Yeah, exactly. It's an affordable smartwatch, got an OLED display. The article suggests it has real potential to resonate, even while acknowledging the existing hurdles in the Japanese market,
Sure.
including maybe some lingering negative perceptions of Chinese goods and potentially lower brand awareness among consumers who aren't, deep into tech.
That brings up an interesting point about the challenges, building trust and brand recognition in new international markets.
Definitely. Then you have a product like the My 10 Youth Edition, Doraemon Limited Edition.
Ah, the cartoon cat one.
Right. That's a really interesting example of a collaboration, showcasing their commitment to quality. Even in these special editions, you're getting an OLED screen, 50x zoom, a large battery, all at a mid-range price point.
So good specs for the money.
Yeah. The article even speculates on its potential to connect with both younger consumers and maybe nostalgic adults in Japan.
It definitely suggests a move beyond just producing, purely utilitarian devices. And then there's the Meiji rice cooker. The article really emphasizes the design shift this represents in the world of white goods.
Oh, yeah, that one's striking. A minimalist white aesthetic, just 3 unobtrusive buttons, and a hidden LED display.
Very different.
It's a stark departure from the often cluttered and visually kind of busy appliances we're maybe used to seeing in kitchens.
But does simplifying the outside mean less function?
Well, what's particularly noteworthy about the rice cooker is that the simplified physical interface doesn't mean a reduction in functionality. Actually, it's quite the opposite.
Oh, okay.
All those diverse cooking options, from different types of rice to porridge, cake, even yogurt, they're all managed through a dedicated mobile application.
Ah, so the complexity moves to the app.
Exactly. Which also provides access to a library of recipes. It's a really different approach to user interaction.
Makes sense.
And the involvement of Naito Takeshi, the engineer behind Sanyo Electric's highly regarded Odoritaki IH rice cooker, really underscores Xiaomi's commitment to quality and performance here.
Right? IH induction heating. That's pretty high-end tech for rice cookers, offering better heat control.
Absolutely. It's about streamlining the physical product and intelligently shifting the complexity and control to the software. It really embodies that digital Muji concept in practice.
Totally. Then we have Xiaomi televisions, which are apparently top sellers in China and enjoying success in India too.
Again, the emphasis is on a clean design powered by smart technology. The article introduces Zhao Ai Tongshu, their voice assistant.
Okay, Xiaomi. What can it do?
Well, it can handle everything from basic TV controls like volume and channels to setting timers, doing complex content searches.
Like searching for movies.
Yeah, and even refining those searches by actor or if it's available for free. Plus playback functions like fast forward, rewind, jump to a specific time.
So pretty comprehensive smart TV features.
If we convert this back to the broader theme, it reflects a fundamental evolution in how we interact with tech in our homes.
How so?
Moving away from traditional, often cumbersome program guides towards more intuitive, personalized recommendations driven by voice commands. It suggests a more streamlined and user-friendly experience overall.
Yeah, definitely sounds less frustrating than scrolling through endless grids. All of this really points to a significant transformation in the perception of Chinese manufacturing.
It really does.
The article underscores this shift from a historical focus on just achieving the lowest possible cost to Xiaomi's deliberate strategy of maximizing price-performance ratio.
That's the key phrase.
It's not just about being inexpensive, it's about delivering the most value for the consumer's money.
And that's a crucial distinction. The article touches on the potential pitfalls of, say, initially establishing a high-quality image only to later compromise on quality through cost-cutting measures.
Right, that can backfire.
It uses the example of some early Japanese smartphones that boasted impressive specifications on paper, but sometimes fell short in real-world usage due to a lack of balance and, optimization.
That's a really insightful point.
Yeah.
They might have had cutting-edge features, but the overall user experience wasn't always polished or smooth.
Exactly.
The article then introduces Lei Jun's 80-80 rule. What's that about?
It's the idea of satisfying 80% of consumers with 80% of the features they desire.
Okay, so focus on the mainstream needs.
Precisely. This helps explain why Xiaomi might avoid incorporating highly niche or overly advanced features that would just drive up costs for the majority of users who wouldn't use them anyway.
And the app-based control we discussed earlier for things like the rice cooker really complements this by reducing hardware complexity and ultimately the price.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing the core needs of the largest segment of the market. And when we revisit that digital Muji analogy, the article emphasizes Muji's core design philosophy, beginning with the essential function, selecting the necessary materials and processes, and eliminating anything superfluous to achieve a lower cost without sacrificing quality or usability. It's a very aligned approach.
So we're seeing a very deliberate product philosophy and manufacturing strategy at play with Xiaomi. Very calculated.
Definitely.
But what were the formative experiences that shaped Lei Jun, the individual driving all of this? The article delves into his early life and key influences.
Right. He was born in Xiantao, in Hubei province, and his father was a teacher. Apparently, even in his youth, he was quite the hacker, did well academically.
But chose Wuhan University for its computer science program specifically because he and a friend harbored entrepreneurial ambitions.
Seems that way. What's particularly interesting is his early and deep immersion in the world of technology. The article describes his constant presence in Wuhan's electronics district.
He's hanging out there.
Yeah, where he amassed such a wealth of knowledge that he reportedly became more knowledgeable than many of the shop owners themselves. This hands-on experience and inherent curiosity appear to have been absolutely foundational.
And it was during this time that he connected with Wang Quangguo, another tech enthusiast, and they began collaborating under the name Yellow Rose.
Their initial project was BitLock, a piece of software designed for software protection. The article mentions the rather unique origin of their team name, a Romanian film, apparently.
Interesting detail.
and even includes the quote they incorporated into their software. It really offers a glimpse into Lei Jun's early passion and creative spirit.
This period also highlights a really significant influence, the book Fire in the Valley, which chronicles the early days of Silicon Valley.
Ah, a classic.
The article emphasizes how Lei Jun deeply identified with those pioneering hackers and harbored a strong aspiration to forge a similar path. It's fascinating to see these early seeds of ambition being planted.
Absolutely. Their subsequent project, Immunity 90 antivirus software, achieved considerable success, even earning awards.
Wow.
Lei Jun even lectured on its capabilities at the Hubei Provincial Public Security Bureau. They then formalized their efforts with a company called Three Colors, developing a range of software and hardware before it naturally dissolved as Lei Jun and his partner graduated.
So even in his university years, he was demonstrating both significant technical talent and a clear entrepreneurial drive.
No question. His early professional career led him to a research institute in Beijing, but predictably, he found himself drawn to Zhongguancun, Beijing's burgeoning tech hub.
The place to be.
And it was there that he had a truly pivotal encounter with the renowned programmer Qiu Jun.
The Kingsoft guy.
That's him. The article describes Lei Jun's deep admiration for Qiu and his initial impressions upon meeting him. Qiu Jun was already a significant figure, having founded Kingsoft and created WPS, which was the first widely used Chinese word processor.
A real pioneer in Chinese software.
Definitely. And Lei Jun, clearly recognizing a mentor figure, joined Kingsoft as its sixth employee back in 1992.
Employee number 6, that's early days.
And WPS enjoyed considerable success in those early years, really filling a critical need in the Chinese market. However, as often happens in the tech world, the competitive landscape shifted dramatically.
Microsoft enters the chat.
Exactly, with the entry of Microsoft Word into China in 1995.
That must have been a huge challenge. Kingsoft attempted to counter with their Pangu software suite, and Lei Jun took on his first major role as project manager for this.
Right, but unfortunately, it didn't achieve the hoped-for success. The article details the significant challenges Kingsoft faced during this period: declining sales of WPS, widespread software piracy, even issues with salary payments and subsequent employee departures.
Tough times. Sounds like a real pressure cooker.
This period of intense struggle seems to have been a real crucible for Lei Jun, offering invaluable lessons in the realities of the software business. There was even an attempt by Microsoft to recruit Qiu Jun.
Wow, really?
Yeah, which understandably created significant internal uncertainty. Lei Jun himself contemplated resigning, but was ultimately persuaded by Qiu to take a 6-month leave of absence instead.
Instead of just quitting.
Right. The article really underscores Lei Jun's deep-seated loyalty, his genuine love, as it says, for Kingsoft and for Qiu as a mentor.
That level of commitment is quite striking. Upon his return, there were apparently some very intense discussions about the future direction of Kingsoft.
Figuring out what to do next.
Ideas ranging from doubling down on software to venturing into completely different sectors like real estate. And yes, even contraception was apparently considered.
Yeah, talk about brainstorming.
Hmm.
Ultimately, the decision was made to persevere with software development.
Okay.
Qiu Jun made a personal investment, and Lei Jun took the lead on developing WPS 97. The article emphasizes the incredibly intense work ethic of that small team during that critical period.
All hands on deck.
And it was during this project that Lei Jun truly emerged as a business leader. He not only spearheaded the development of WPS 97, but also championed the idea of diversifying into areas where Microsoft didn't hold a dominant position.
Smart move.
Leading to the creation of Kingsoft Movie Player, Kingsoft Siba, a dictionary application, and the hugely popular role-playing game Swordsman Love.
The RPG, that was a big one, right?
These initiatives proved to be vital for Kingsoft's survival and future growth, especially Swordsman Love, which became a massive hit and significantly influenced Kingsoft's strategic direction moving forward.
So the game saved the day, in a way.
It played a huge role. And then, in October 1997, WPS 97 was finally launched, the first Chinese word processor designed specifically for the Windows operating system.
Big milestone.
It quickly gained traction and was widely adopted by businesses across China. Its inclusion as part of the Chinese computer certification exam and a subsequent investment from Lenovo provided further crucial momentum,
Building steam.
leading to the development of WPS 2000 and a renewed period of growth for the company. Kingsoft was definitely back in the game.
But the broader tech landscape in China was undergoing a rapid transformation around then, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. The late 1990s and early 2000s witnessed the rise of new internet giants, Baidu, Tencent, Alibaba.
The Beiti companies.
Exactly. And while Kingsoft was preparing for its initial public offering in 1999, with Lei Jun serving as president or general manager, they began to experience a renewed period of decline, largely due to persistent software piracy and the increasing dominance of Microsoft Office.
So, challenges again. The article touches on Lei Jun's growing frustration as he witnessed the rapid IPOs and soaring valuations of companies like Tencent and Baidu.
Yeah, you can imagine. He must have felt a sense of missed opportunity in the rapidly evolving internet landscape.
While Kingsoft was still grinding it out.
Ultimately, it was Kingsoft's game division, Jishanju Studio, with its incredibly successful titles like Swordsman Love and JX Online, that became the primary engine for the company's survival and continued growth.
So games became the core business, really.
Pretty much. And while Kingsoft did eventually achieve its IPO on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in 2007, a significant 70% of its revenue was then being generated by its online games.
Wow, 70%.
The article astutely points out that this outcome wasn't entirely aligned with the original vision Lei Jun had during his Yellow Rose days, which were much more focused on fundamental software innovation.
Right, not the dream he started with.
Exactly. Having fulfilled his commitment as CEO by leading the company through the IPO process, Lei Jun found himself increasingly exhausted and yearned to pursue the entrepreneurial vision he had held onto since his university days.
Ready for something new.
He had dedicated 16 years to Kingsoft, 8 of them as president. There's a particularly poignant moment mentioned in the article where Zhang Huanlong, a Kingsoft co-founder who had been an early mentor to Lei Jun, expressed his deep disappointment upon learning of Lei Jun's planned departure.
Oof. That must have been tough.
Yeah.
It really highlights the strong personal connections he had forged over those years.
For sure. But Lei Jun felt that Kingsoft had fundamentally become a game company, a direction that felt increasingly distant from his original aspirations in the broader technology space.
It wasn't his company anymore, in a sense.
And at 38 years old, he felt a sense of urgency, recognizing this as perhaps his last real opportunity to pursue his long-held dream.
Last Chance Saloon.
So following his departure from Kingsoft, Lei Jun transitioned into the role of an angel investor, achieving notable success, particularly with his early investment in YY, a Chinese video-based social networking platform.
So he did well financially.
Oh yeah, achieved financial independence, but his underlying entrepreneurial drive remained as strong as ever.
The itch was still there.
Absolutely. And so in April 2010, in a modest office in Beijing, Xiaomi was officially founded with 14 partners. A significant milestone that was symbolically marked by a simple shared meal of congee.
Just congee. Humble beginnings. The article names some of the key founding members, a truly diverse and experienced group hailing from major tech players like Google China, Kingsoft, Microsoft, Motorola.
A real all-star team. And even the Art Center College in Pasadena, California, bringing a strong design perspective.
Right. And their initial approach to the smartphone market was anything but conventional, wasn't it?
Totally unconventional. They started by focusing on application development first, then developing their custom Android-based operating system, MIUI.
And only then turning their attention to the actual hardware.
Exactly. The article emphasizes the consumer-first logic that underpinned this unusual kind of backwards approach.
It was a complete inversion of the traditional hardware-centric model that dominated the industry at the time.
Totally. The article paints a vivid picture of Lei Jun's intense dedication during Xiaomi's early days, even noting his remarkably simple and consistent diet.
Really? Like what?
Just focused, disciplined. The first version of MIUI was launched in May 2010, specifically for the Google Nexus One, and it was remarkable for its ability to significantly enhance the user experience on that device.
So it made a difference right away.
Yeah. It was all about engaging with early adopters through beta testing, actively soliciting feedback from a burgeoning community, and eventually extending support to a wider range of Android smartphones.
Building that user base from the ground up. The article mentions the initial challenge of attracting users with only around 100 dream sponsors signing up initially.
Just 100. But Lei Jun was so appreciative of this early support that he even created a short film dedicated to them, emphasizing the collective spirit of their shared vision.
That's a really nice touch. That level of engagement with their earliest users really underscores their commitment to building a strong community around their products.
Definitely. The public beta release of MIUI in August 2010, characterized by rapid weekly updates based on user feedback, generated significant buzz and growing interest among tech enthusiasts.
People started paying attention.
And then, operating somewhat in stealth mode, they initiated the development of their own original smartphone hardware in 2011.
Okay, the actual phone. They forged a partnership with Inventec, the Taiwanese EMS company.
Electronic manufacturing services, yeah. With an interesting history, having been involved with Apple's early Newton PDA and even considered for initial iPod manufacturing.
Oh, wow.
Today, they are a major manufacturing partner for both Apple's iPads and Xiaomi's diverse product range.
Big players. And finally, on August 16th, 2011, exactly 1 year after the public debut of MIUI, the Xiaomi One was officially unveiled.
And the price point was key. A highly competitive 1999 yuan.
Which was what, like $300 USD back then, give or take?
Something like that. To provide some crucial context, the iPhone 4 was immensely popular in China at that time, but also carried a significant premium price tag.
Right, iPhones were expensive.
While there are more affordable Android smartphones available, their overall performance and user experience often lagged considerably behind iOS due to the relative immaturity of the Android ecosystem at that stage.
Yeah, Android was still finding its feet a bit.
So the Xiaomi One presented a very compelling proposition. A significantly lower price point, a refined and user-friendly MIUI operating system honed through a year of direct user feedback.
With the users.
And a suite of pre-installed Xiaomi applications that offered comparable functionality to many of the iPhone's key features.
So it felt like a complete package. The launch event itself, held in Beijing's vibrant 798 art district, and Lei Jun's very deliberate, Steve Jobs-inspired attire and presentation style.
It certainly generated a lot of attention. It was a calculated move that clearly resonated.
And the initial sales figures for the Xiaomi One were, by all accounts, phenomenal.
Huge. The article revisits that initial Japanese media portrayal, highlighting the somewhat ironic fact that what might have been initially perceived as a dismissive jab,
A knockoff thing.
actually marked the true beginning of China's smartphone and broader manufacturing revolution.
And at the very heart of that revolution, the article emphasizes, lies Lei Jun's deep study of Muji and his unwavering commitment to consumer-centric manufacturing.
Right. But what's really key is that he didn't just talk about it. He embedded it as the fundamental methodology for product development.
How so?
Starting with understanding the consumer's needs through applications, then designing the user interface MIUI, and ultimately engineering the hardware to support that experience.
This building, from the consumer's perspective, is the core of Xiaomi's innovation, it seems.
It really is. It stands in stark contrast to the more traditional hardware-first approach, which often runs the risk of either over-engineering products with features that consumers don't actually need.
Like maybe those early 3D-enabled phones.
Exactly, which never gained mainstream traction, or under-delivering on the software and user experience, or missing things that become crucial later, like the importance of high-quality front-facing cameras for selfies and video calls.
Right, things that weren't always a primary focus initially.
So Xiaomi's app-first approach allowed them to be much more attuned to actual user needs, leading to cost-effective, user-friendly, and well-balanced products, really hitting that sweet spot of performance and price.
And their initial success had a cascading effect, triggering significant changes throughout the entire Chinese smartphone market.
It certainly did. Xiaomi's initial focus was largely on the mid to mid-high-end segments of the market, as they gradually began to explore the higher end.
Which they've done more recently.
Right. This created opportunities for other domestic manufacturers. Huawei, for example, moved to solidify its position in the mid-range, while Oppo and Vivo found significant success in the lower-end segments.
Filling the gaps.
The article provides market share data from the first half of 2020, showing Huawei, Vivo, and Oppo holding larger overall shares, which the article attributes to their broader coverage across various price points.
Xiaomi's introduction of its sub-brand Redmi and youth-focused versions of its phones can be seen as attempts to broaden their market reach while still maintaining their core strength in that value-driven mid to high-end space.
Yeah, trying to cover more bases. The article suggests that their fundamental development philosophy, though, naturally leads to a slightly more focused market segment, perhaps mirroring Apple's situation in China in some ways.
Interesting comparison. Despite not always holding the top spot in market share, Xiaomi has cultivated an exceptionally loyal fan base, often referred to as Mi fans or Mi Fan.
super loyal. And they've successfully extended their consumer-centric philosophy beyond smartphones into a wide array of other product categories, further expanding their community of enthusiastic users.
So it's bigger than just phones now. The article concludes by emphasizing that truly implementing consumer-centric manufacturing in a meaningful way is actually a significant challenge.
It's not easy to do well. Lei Jun's real innovation was in translating that abstract concept into a concrete and effective product development process, genuinely building from the consumer's perspective at every stage.
And it's quite remarkable that he achieved this without the traditional background of, say, a Western university degree or experience within established global tech giants.
Right, driven primarily by his own relentless learning and clear vision. The article even draws compelling parallels between him and other transformative figures in technology history, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Steve Wozniak.
High praise. It's a powerful culmination. Lei Jun ultimately realizing the very dream that was sparked by his reading of Fire in the Valley all those years ago as a student.
Incredible story, really.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, we've traced Xiaomi's remarkable evolution from a company initially perceived, maybe unfairly, as producing knockoffs to a genuine driver of manufacturing innovation in China.
Yeah, their success is fundamentally built upon a deeply ingrained consumer-centric approach, championed by the vision and unwavering determination of their founder, Lei Jun, and significantly influenced by the core principles of Muji's design philosophy.
This leads us to a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. How might the core principle of building from the user's needs be applied in other industries? Or maybe even within your own work or personal projects?
It's a good question. What unexpected benefits might emerge from truly prioritizing the user experience right from the very outset? Something to maybe chew on.